to Language of the Spirit, part 41. This is the 4th of July. It's a little obvious. So I want to talk about freedom, and that freedom is possible for us individually on a personal level, and that freedom is coming into a fuller level. And also, what's the difference between liberty and freedom? And just some scriptures under that theme. So the opening one is, stand fast therefore in the liberty wherewith Christ has made you free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. That is loosely quoted from the King James. And I don't have the address. Okay, wonderful. I'll put that in the notes and in the description. John 8:32, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So let me get a little wild here. What if the people who have gender dysphoria, what if it is a spiritual problem because it is an invisible problem, even though they look at themselves, they don't like what they see? What if it was dealt with in a spiritual and in a mental health realm, and we got the mind to line up with what the body they have instead of trying to change the body? Just an idea. I mean, what do you guys think? It could totally set a lot of people free if they knew the spiritual connotations of what's happening to them, that they're victims and that they need to know the truth, and the truth would set them free. So yeah, freedom in that area. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing to see that move through the globe, through the country? John 8:36. If the Son therefore makes you free, ye shall be free indeed. King James. Yeah, so I'm over 60. I grew up with the King James and memorized everything in the King James back in the day when I could really memorize good. Okay, moving on. Romans 6:18. Being then made free from sin, ye become servants of righteousness. What a beautiful thing. What a delight the Lord has when he sees us moving from being slaves to our own fleshly appetites to walking in the image of his Son. I refer to the Father because so many people are stuck on always talking only about Yeshua Jesus, and that grieves Yeshua because he does only what he saw his Father do. And when we leave the Father out of things, when we have an orphan spirit, it's not healthy. It's like a stool that only has 2 legs and the third leg is missing, and you can topple pretty easy. So, okay, moving on. 1 Peter 2:16. As free, and not using your liberty as a cloak of maliciousness, but as servants of God. Here it is in the Amplified. Live as free people, yet without employing your freedom as a pretext for wickedness, but live at all times as servants of God. That's our goal. That's our focus. That's what we should be intentional about. Revelations 22:17. And the Spirit and the bride say, come. And let them that heareth say, come. And let him that is athirst come. And whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely. There's an invitation. So, are you living in a dry, parched land? May God water your dry places and fill your empty spaces. Okay, here's liberty in Bible, 1 Corinthians 8:9. Only be careful that this power of choice, this liberty, this permission and liberty to do as you please, this looks like Amplified, which is yours, does not somehow become a hindrance because of a stumbling to the weak or over scrumptious, giving them to an impulse to sin. So kind of the idea, if you do something that other people don't have a conscience and feel good about, deny yourself that freedom for their sake. Was it Peter, someone who said, I will not eat things offered to idols as long as it grieves my brothers, something like that. So maybe I should add a reference to that in there. 2 Corinthians 3:17. And the Lord is the Spirit. And where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Emancipation from bondage and freedom. We'll put the fireworks in there. We said the word emancipation on the 4th of July, celebrating our freedom. We came over here for freedom to worship as we please. Remember that? Remember that in your history book? Look it up. Google it if you have to. Luke 10:5. Whatever house you enter, first say, peace be to this household. Freedom from all the stresses that result from sin. Be with this family. So, cool. That's a good habit to get into when you visit places. Speak peace be to this household. And sometimes you have to say peace be to this hotel, this Airbnb, whatever. Where your peace is, take it with you and influence the atmosphere around you with the kingdom of God. Be a carrier of his glory, and they that do know their God shall do great exploits. So the freedom to do great exploits. Yay! Okay, I'll add fireworks in the end. So thanks for sharing this with me on this 4th of July in 2025. And whatever time you may be watching this, may you know the true freedom of living in Yeshua Jesus. See you next time. This is Sandy Solis, prophetic novelist, author of Spirit Wings book series. See you next time.